Hello and welcome to Double Stitch Creations tutorial. Today it's part 3 of our Boo the Ghost pencil topper. Today we're going to finish off his curl and add his arms and just really finish him. So let's get started. Now here we can get our hobby fill. And fill in the head and the body. Alright, I'm nearly done. So I just use the end of my crochet hook, push it in. And you don't, I have a tendency to overfill. You don't really want to overfill, you just want to make it nice and squishy. And with the head we can add in a little bit more as we close it. Alright, we're on to our last round. So this is, we're just decreasing every single stitch until we have 6 stitches. Now if you need to add more hobby fill as you go, you can do that. So alright, so we're joining these 2 stitches together, so into the first stitch, into the next stitch along, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. That's 1. We want to do 6 decreases. 2, and just check your head to see if you want more hobby fill. I think I'm quite happy with mine at the moment. 3. And 4. And 5. And then 6. So when closing his head, you can add in a little bit more if you want, and I might just add in a little bit. Alright, there he is, he's getting there. Okay, now we're going to work on Boo's curl at the top of his head. Totally optional, but I quite like it, so I'm going to add it. I'll show you how to do it. So we're going to do 11 chains, so yarn over, pulling that yarn back through the loop in your hook, that's 1. Yarn over, pulling that yarn back through the loop in your hook, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So remember, we can't crochet into the, here's our hook, we can't crochet into the first chain, we've got to go into the second. Right. Now I'm just going to put I will put a link in the description below to my chain tutorial, but for this I find that going into the top loop of the chain, then yarn over, pull up a loop, we're going to do 3 single crochets into every stitch down the chain. So we're just doing, I'm going to put 3 single crochets into this same stitch, and I'm just going under the top loop of every chain. So just doing 3 single crochets all the way down the chain, and what you'll find is that it will curl, and I love that it can do this. It's just so cool. I'm just doing 3 single crochets to every stitch. You can see it's already starting to curl. Seriously, what you can do with yarn is absolutely amazing. The yarn addiction is very real. Just asked my family. He's has to put up with yarn all over the house. Alright. Nearly there. Alright, then 3 into the last chain. And then you just want to do a slip stitch into the same stitch that we started. So going into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, and you're just literally going to pull this front loop through the back loop. So I'm just pulling it through, and that's a slip stitch. Now cut your yarn, leaving the tail, because now we're going to close the head. So leave a bit of a tail. So just yarn over and pull that yarn all the way through that loop on your hook. Now grab your tapestry needle. Now what you want to do, remember that each stitch has a front loop and a back loop. You want to just go into the front loop. This is such a clever way of closing the heads into every stitch. So just the front loop. So just go up, over and around into the next front loop. Just go into every stitch. And then we might go one more, we'll just skip past that curl and just do one more over here, and then just pull it tight. There you go, it's all closed. Now if you want that in the center, we can sew it into the center, but I quite like it like that. So now just from here, I'm going to knot it. So, and as always, I do 3 knots. And now you're just going to weave your yarn in and out the back of the body, just going in the same direction as the stitches so you can't see it. And just weave it in and out, back and forth, up and down a few times, tucking it away, just making sure your work's nice and secure. And then once you've done that, trim it really close to the body. Just get your tapestry needle and tuck that ending away. There you go. Now we've just got to do his arms and then we're finished. Okay, we're just finishing off Boo the Ghost's arms. So to do the arms, still using white yarn or any colour of your choice. So just grabbing my white yarn. So turn and Boo to the side. Well, because I want the arms to go across the front of him. And in row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 from the bottom, just put your hook around one of the stitches in the body. Then I just put my yarn over my finger so I have a loop, and I put that loop on my hook just like that, and I pull it right through Oops. Then I take the tail, just leave a little bit of a tail for knotting off later, and I pull that tail all the way through the loop, and then I pull that tight, and now we're going to chain 5. So going yarn over or under the yarn and pulling that yarn back through the loop on your hook. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then we're skipping about 4 stitches in the front. So 4 or 5 depending on where you like it, and then I'm just putting my hook around another stitch in the body, and then we're going to yarn over and pull that yarn back through that stitch. 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both. And now this time we're going to crochet around the chain, not into it, crocheting around the chain. We're going to do 8 single crochets, so I'm putting my hook right underneath the chain. So going right through that gap. And then we're going to do 8 single crochets around the chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And now we're going to just, in the same stitch that we started with, going into the body, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through both, and then you're going to cut your yarn. So just cut your yarn, leaving a bit of a tail, and then that yarn you just cut, yarn over and pull it all the way through and pull it tight, and then we'll knot that off later. So let's do the second now. So that's going to be in about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 from the bottom. And then once again we're just repeating what we did for the top yarn, top arm, sorry, not yarn. So going into the body, I'm just trying to line it up with the top arm, hooking it, leaving a tail and hooking it over my finger to make a loop, putting that on my crochet hook, pulling it all the way through, getting the tail and pulling that tail all the way through the loop, putting my hook back in the loop and pulling it tight. Now we're going to chain 5, so just doing exactly the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, skipping the stitches in the front and just lining it up with the second line, the second arm, but also keeping it straight here on the bottom. So we're gonna go in. Oops, no. Okay, going into the body, yarn over. Oops, I'm going to put it on the, so into the body, yarn over, pulling up a loop, 2 loops in your hook, yarn over, pull through both. Then once again 8 single crochets around the chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Then going into the body once more, in this where we started, the same spot. Yarn over, pull up the loop, then yarn over, pull through both loops. Now you can cut your yarn on your tail. Then that yarn we just cut, pull it all the way through that loop on your hook. And now we can knot these ends together. And knot these two ends from the top of the first arm. You can grab your tapestry needle and just weave in these ends. So just going in and out of the body. Back and forth, just tucking them away a bit. And then trim it really close to the body. Just, it's probably a good idea just to tuck that end back into the body. Do the same with these, and then we're finished. And just in and out of the body, just back and forth, going the similar way to the stitches. And now you can trim it close to the body. Alright, and we have Boo the Ghost's pencil topper. And now he can sit on your pencil and make a good little friend. And he's a very friendly ghost. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.